Obviously, you know why I was late. I wasn't dressed for the occasion. But as I say every single Monday morning, it is a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdbusters Live here on the eve of Halloween, aka Nerdy Coffee, here on Nerd Affiliated. So good to see all of you here this morning on the channel. I tell you, I understand now why TV shows and movies and radio shows have producers and like meetings for things. Because it was probably at this point 30 minutes ago where I was like, you know, I should probably dress up for this Halloween edition of the show, considering the major news of last week. So welcome everybody here. Welcome to all of you that are listening on the replay. Whether you're listening today or on Halloween, happy Halloween to all of you. If you have yourself a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shits. As I said, there's major news. There is major news. And we're going to check in on a new Haslab. The Haslab news has changed last week to this week in a major way. So we'll definitely talk about that. And before we get to that, just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Again, Ecamm like screwing up on the chat function today. So we're gonna close it out today. I don't know why he keeps doing that. But as I said, welcome everybody. Happy Halloween. Adjust the camera a little bit. Boom. And it's going to be a good time. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Did you guys do any fun Halloween things this weekend? Was that something that came about? I did not do any Halloween things. The wedding planning, wedding stuff, of course. The wedding's upon us. Another week, actually. One more week to go. But I did go on a impromptu bachelor party with some of the boys. That was a lot of fun. I posted pictures up on Instagram. Did some axe throwing. And then the part you guys are all going to be really excited about. We went out for some fine cuisine at the old Taco Bell. So that was a good time. But since the chat thing is not working, I'll just throw you guys up on screen. Jeno Kenobi, good to see ya. He says, or dressed at all. That's true. It takes a lot. It takes a village sometimes. I know Sal was in here first. It's not on my chat window here, but I saw him at the top. So hi to Sal. And then T3 says, later not, I'm glad to have my dose of nerdy coffee. There you go. That's what it's all about. Kenobi says, I need this. Yeah. As my fiance also texted me just now on Struggle Bus today. So I'll tell you, Mondays hit different. Sal said he's going for 907. You're off by double the amount, but it's fine. The salute. Dre in the house, good to see ya. Why hello there. I dressed up as Spider-Man with the wife and kids. We went to trunk or treats. That's right. That is a really popular thing now. For those of you who don't have kids, what you do instead of like walking like a neighborhood, your neighborhood, I say a neighborhood because there were times in the past where I knew friends that instead of trick-or-treating in our own neighborhood, maybe they didn't feel safe or they were like, there's not a lot of good houses here. They would go somewhere else, trick or treat, a whole different neighborhood. That was the thing. But trunk or treat, I think, started, it may have actually been a pre-COVID thing where a bunch of parents go, they park in like a mall parking lot. Maybe it's at the school your kids go to. You buy a bunch of candy, open up the trunks, and then the kids kind of do laps around the trunks there in the parking lot. So I know that's been around for a while. I think that actually might be a pre-COVID thing. So I'm glad you had a good time. Post some pictures. I think I saw the one of, did I see you and Spider-Gwen? I think I did. But post more. Post all the photos. Why not? All right. Before we get started, we're going to head over to do the plugs. Of course, Nerd Affiliated on Instagram. That's your one-stop shop to see everything that we're doing, see what we're up to, all that goodness. But unfortunately, also where we will share sad news. So it was a interesting week when it came to that. It's like all this like fun, cool things we're posting. What's up, LeBron? Good to see you. All these fun, cool things that we're posting, and all of a sudden we got hit with the 3 times. You know, they say it always comes in threes. So Richard Mall, a.k.a. Two-Face, he passed away last week. He was, I think, 80, somewhere in there. So R.I.P. to him. And then just before that, we lost the man. We lost Shaft. I believe for him it was pancreatic cancer they found later on. So he was also in his 80s. R.I.P. to the man, the myth, the true legend, John Shaft. Shut your mouth. And then the one I did not post yesterday was Matthew Perry, a.k.a. Chandler Bing. That's the one I think I've seen the most people kind of like damn about. Especially because he was only 54, I want to say, or something like that. Somewhere in there. No. Yeah, he was in his 50s, I want to say. Just crazy. So, rough week on the celebrity front, our hero front. But they will live on forever in our hearts. They'll live on forever in our childhoods, and in our favorite characters. Especially like Two-Face. Like, I feel like the Batman animated series, bar none, when you say name a character, what's the voice that comes to mind? It's that one. No other iteration. So, yeah. But aside from that, like I said, Nerd Affiliated on Instagram. Also, Nerd Affiliated on YouTube. Your one-stop shop for everything. Not just news, but everything. You got links to join our channel memberships. You can donate, find our latest videos. Of course, you can find our latest merch. And we even have the Nerd Buster patches still available on the site. So make sure you head over there. As a reminder, the full version of our Comic-Con video is up here on the channel. Behind. Wow. I didn't take a sip of coffee yet. Hang on. Whoa. Oh, there you go. Now I'm feeling the energy. The full version of our New York Comic-Con video is live behind the paywall, which has a negative connotation, but it's only $1. That's the member site. The Nerd Cadets get full access to our New York Comic-Con video. Again, I didn't want to deal with the copyright stuff. So the full video's there. I will try. I said it last week, but I'm going to try this week. I swear to you. Swear to me. I'm going to try my best to get the abridged version out this week on the main channel. So you can see that. And then maybe you watch the abridged and you're like, I want the full version. And you head over here. You join the membership for $1. I'd buy that for $1. Boom. All right. So, a lot of things to talk about, but yet not a lot of time because I was late. But as I mentioned, I had to dress up for the occasion. I had to dress for the occasion. Let's see here. Let's check the notes. A couple things I wanted to hit before we talk about the obvious. All right. And boom. All right. So I actually don't think that they posted. Yeah, I don't think they actually made a post. Or maybe they deleted it. They may have deleted it. But the SAG strike is still ongoing on the actor side. So they've definitely been posting way more as far as the strike goes, as far as where they're at, where they'll mention we talked today, went to the table, negotiations are going well, not going well, reconvene next week, that kind of stuff. So they've been updating a lot. But something they actually posted, and I don't see it here anymore, was not to dress up as a character for Halloween that is part of stricken content. Probably the biggest one being Barbie. There was a lot of calls from SAG to let people know, like, hey, Halloween's fun, all about it, but we ask that you don't cosplay as stricken content if you are following along with the strike. If you are like also supporting it, you're not talking about stricken content, all that stuff. So they made that request. And actually, now that I think about it, that was the video I showed up in for Now This News. They actually, yeah, why didn't I find that one? I should have went for that first. Hang on. It's like coming back to me. My brain's starting to roll, starting to flow. If only the internet would participate right here. Come on. I'm trying to do you guys a solid here. And you're not working. Let's try this again. There we go. Interesting photo to open that site to. It may have been in their entertainment page. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was entertainment. So let's try that. Here we go. So that's one of the posts there. SAG-AFTRA is trying to scare the AMPTP back to negotiating table. But they're saying do not dress up as these characters for Halloween. Because in a way, you're still promoting it. So I get it. I saw a comment here. Sal saying not for kids, ? I think that's where it's, you can do that. I mean, it's one of those where you're not going to tell a kid, oh, you can't dress up as Spider-Man because of union negotiations. The trade federation's doing a blockade on the planet, so therefore you cannot, go to Naboo. They're not going to understand that. So, yeah, I don't know where the video went. I don't know where that cosplay video went, but yeah, that's what they're asking. Interesting, but I get it. And they have to. It's one of those. I think SAG asking you not to cosplay or dress up as a character from a stricken show. I think it's like they know they have to say that, but like, do they actually think people are gonna not do it? No, not at all. So I thought that was a interesting tidbit there. Again, running short on time. So the other thing I wanted to mention, crazy thing, I think I got really skipped over. It was out there for like 2 days, 3 days, and then gone. Best Buy ending physical media altogether. I think that's a major one. A lot of you are steelbook collectors, still purchase all the physical media, and you no longer will get it from Best Buy. So at the moment, you'll still have Target, you'll still have Walmart, and of course, you'll have online. But I feel like online is just the logical thing to do. Like, if you want a steelbook, they put it up for, maybe they do a pre-order on Amazon, and then it ships and arrives to you the day of release. You know, maybe they do that. Man, coffee's so good. Let me just get back to the chat real quick. Again, I apologize you guys are not on screen. It was not working. You guys are talking about a game. What game were we talking about? I feel like I missed it. LeBron's said, I like the Five Nights at Freddy movie. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that came out. Again, I can't talk about it, but yes, my wife haven't played any and really liked it. Sal said, sweet, scary or silly. Not for kids. It is the same vein as Megan, like horror with comedy. All right. Patrick in the house, good to see you. Busy morning. Yes, it is. T3 says, I feel like SAG-AFTRA is being ridiculous on the Halloween thing. Yeah, I mean, the concept's wild, but I think they have to. It's like whenever a company makes a statement about some sort of political thing, it's like I have to say something. I can't just not say something because people are going to be like, well, what, you know? So I think that's why they did it. I don't think they're like truly, hey kid, and then like throw red paint on the kid or something. LeBron says, I bought a red shirt, so I shouldn't be Winnie the Pooh. Will you be wearing pants? It's definitely going to be the tough one. Anthony in the house, good to see you. Yeah, zero reason to visit Best Buy now. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one on that. I work in retail. That's my job. That's what I do. But I do think that these companies really need to, and they're behind the eight ball if they haven't thought about it, but they really need to think about how do we change the experience so it's an experience. And going to Best Buy at this point is more like, in my opinion, you're going to like an Apple store. Like you're going for information. Your primary objective is, I need to buy a router, but I don't know anything about routers. If I don't feel like watching a YouTube video about it, I'll just go to Best Buy and do it. So I think Best Buy needs to really focus around that, being the more experience type place. But, you know, you go there for something's coming out, I can go there on this day, pick it up, boom. But any company that's holding back on the digital front because they're like, oh, I want to still have that physical push out there, you're going to get left behind. Gonna be left behind. Best Buy is getting rid of video games also. Okay. Yeah. I figured, but I wasn't too sure. Steve in the house, good to see you. I couldn't comment on YouTube. That's weird. I don't know if I have the subscriber only option on, of which case, for shame. For shame. LeBron said no pants. Dave in the house, good to see you. T3 says, I used to work in retail, and majority of the reason why people went into Circuit City was to buy movies, CDs, and video games. True. But even that model changed, you know? Even that model changed. All right. So, the last things surround two companies, right? One company, two topics. One company, two sides of a coin. Very interesting one. So, Hasbro, last week, we're going to get nerdy here. We're going to get real nerdy here. Hasbro released their earnings for the last quarter. And it wasn't good. So let's go over. I miss my pedal. I say it every week. I miss my pedal. Just being able to just push the button on the ground, jump screens, not have to wait, move the mouse, do all this stuff. It's annoying. So I'm gonna have to get my Stream Deck, actually, the buttons on here going, so I can just use that. But they had an earnings call on the 26th, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So right now on the screen, I'm just showing you guys the stock price over the last month, how it's been on the decline. 6 months, you had a little spike here in September, and then the landslide happened, and it wasn't good. So they did not have a good time. They did not have a good time. But what was interesting, and this is where I'll kind of leave it up to you guys. I kind of want to do an entire video just talking about their earnings call, but to give you the cliff notes here, Hasbro they were not profitable last quarter. A lot of companies are not, or were not, I should say. A lot of companies really struggled in the last quarter. Right now, most analysts are saying that it is overvalued, which means at a stock price of $45, or actually today it opened at 48, that's too much. They're saying it's not worth that. So that's a problem there. A couple things to mention. One, a lot of their profits that they did earn did not come from toys. Did not come from toys. Let me just pull up my notes so I don't speak out of turn. But a lot of their revenue increases, the profits that they made, Wizards of the Coast, Baldur's Gate, which, correct me if I'm wrong, might be a Dungeons & Dragons thing, Baldur's Gate 3, Monopoly Go. Those are the three things that came up repeatedly on their earnings call. Because digital content, you don't have to hold a heavy inventory on it. It's just profit. So because of that, it made me think they may actually really start to lean in on the digital stuff. All right, so it is a video game. All right, I was pretty sure, but the way they were talking about it on the call, they made it sound like it was tied to Dungeons and Dragons, so I wasn't too sure. But they leaned hard on those three things on the call. So I'm very interested to see where the company's going to start to go as a whole. Inventories were an issue, of course. So they want to lower inventory. What does that mean for those of us here? Pretty simple. We're not getting a lot of restocks. We are not getting a lot of restocks going into the holiday. They said that we'll get some after holiday, but they're really trying to decrease their inventory that they have in warehouses. So on the plus side, that means we'll get more sales. We have that Halloween sale going on right now. I don't doubt there's going to be another warehouse sale, because they said on the call, the trend seems to be, if companies want to make money, they're going to have to do heavy sales. Hasbro's already shown that they went from like no sales ever to once a year, twice a year. Now you may even have multiple times in a quarter. So we do have that coming down. The other thing that I wanted to shout out, because I know that there's been scares around this. I'm gonna spoil the surprise here. Anthony's joining, and I see you. I'm just waiting to finish the stock thing. Anthony keeps joining. I'm not sure why. There's been a lot of fear around Power Rangers going away, that they are abandoning Power Rangers, going on hiatus, all that stuff. Power Rangers actually came up quite a few times on the call, as something they want to still work on and develop. So it didn't come across as like something we are dumping altogether, which was really interesting. Really interesting. There's that rumor going around that Power Rangers will be shelved, that Power Rangers isn't profitable for them, etc. That's not the vibe that they gave. They mentioned it more times than they mentioned G.I. Joe, which was crazy. I thought G.I. Joe would come up a ton. When we think Hasbro, successful brands, we generally think G.I. Joe. Didn't come up once. They mentioned that they want to keep working with Disney, more Marvel, more Star Wars. So that's a plus. They want to keep that relationship good. So again, that's a win. But most of the positive conversation came on the digital side. So what will that mean going forward? I'm not sure. If you guys do want me to do a full video on the earnings call, let me know, because I would love to do that. I might even do it regardless. But let's go to the positive side. On the Hasbro end, we have ourselves a new Haslab. And before I click on it, I don't know where it's at now. Now Anthony's not in the green room. Where'd he go? He says, I thought I heard you say you were wrapping up, so I tried jumping on, but walking home, I guess the signal's... He's getting the button.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
There he is. Now he's here. Now he's gracing us with his presence. So let's see if Anthony is actually there. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
There you go. I was like, man, you just keep hitting that button.
No, well, I'm on my phone. I'm walking home, so I thought I heard you say you were going to wrap up. So I was like, oh, I better jump on. And I guess I went through a bad signal area or something.
Oh, no.
But
I was wrapping up the nerdy stock conversation. I just wanted to get through my rant.
Fair enough. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. All right, so I haven't looked yet, but we're going to, at the same time here, I have the Hasbro site open. Yesterday when I looked, we were at 93%.
Nice.
Clicking on the Haslab, we are at 9,725 backers. So 97%.
Nice.
It's going to back today. There's no way it does not back today.
I'm shocked it took this long.
Yeah.
It's not the best. Like, I think I kind of said it on the live. I actually kind of like the shape of the Spirit one better, but I have to
Spirit what?
take a better look at the Spirit PKE meter. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I pulled out my meter in the video, and I was looking at it, and I don't know, I like the shape of that one better. I feel like the new one is a little boxy, but I have to look at photos because maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But
actually, you get to entertain everybody by yourself for 30 seconds. BRB.
What the hell? Well, I have my phone in my pocket. I can't look and see when he's back. But yeah, I was just saying, like I said on the live, I think the Spirit one, the shape of it's a little bit better. And it was funny, there's reviews of the new ones out already, or not reviews, but like first impressions from London Con or wherever they were. And I kind of started to laugh. The woman, if you haven't seen it, the woman who's demonstrating the meter, one of the detector arms went up and the other one wouldn't. She was trying to put it in taser mode, and she kept trying to like manually reset it. And I'm pretty sure I heard her like pushing it and clicking gears. So I was like, ooh, hopefully. They clearly still have a couple of bugs to work out. Good thing it's not going to ship till almost next Halloween, it says.
You talking about the at the convention last week?
Yeah. In the video you sent, or the woman demonstrating it, one arm wouldn't pop up, or it was just popping up out of sequence, and then she pushes it down, and like I'm pretty sure you heard the like the clicking of a gear getting forced, so that wasn't good. But yeah, we'll see. It'd be nice to have a trap. I like the trap, just like for the lights and the hose and all that stuff, and obviously the fact that it can come out of, I guess like the main body of the trap will come out of the outer casing as if you were putting it into a containment unit. That was cool.
Yeah. So shout out to Popular Tripe, who was the first one to post a video of the trap and PKE meter on YouTube that I found outside of Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
This is the video that you're talking about. Just going to find that section here. Give us some volume.
So, has this got batteries in? Can I...
It does. These are early models.
Sure.
A little bit fiddly.
You're going to tase me now. That's good.
Try not to.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the part.
Yeah. So I didn't even hear her say it the first time. So she did say early model. So still some bugs.
Yeah. But I mean,
We've opened the program. Touching it. Thank you.
here we go. I mean, it.
That's awesome.
So, the thing I went to get was the trap I made for New York Comic Con. And the reason being is when it comes to conventions, I feel like this $20 trap, this is barely modded. This is just some paint, some slime, good to go. I feel like something like this can do the trick without you having to spend $300 in theory.
Yeah.
But the lights, the sounds, like you said, the trap disconnects from the casing. It's little things. The foot pedal. It's the little things on it that are just make it a more complete package.
Yes. Like the switches that'll flip.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Now, the thing that I learned from us doing our cosplay is you can buy the cheaper version of anything. But if your plan is to modify the cheaper version to look more screen accurate, more realistic, have lights, have sounds, by the time you go down that route, you've probably spent more than the more expensive one.
Yeah.
Let's get to the... There's a part here where they let him push the button. Ah, damn you with the music. All right, here it is. He's staring at it. He's thinking about it. He goes back to the trap. He's trying to play it cool. This guy's freaking out. This guy's like legit freaking out.
Oh. Exciting moment.
Yeah. This guy comes out with a pack. Oh, the Ghostbusters show up. There you go. So she's doing it. And that's great too, that you push it down, it opens, and then you release and it will close. You don't have to reset it by hand or anything.
To I don't remember who made it. I want to say maybe Mattel or whoever made the proton pack from the real Ghostbusters in the 80s.
Yeah.
The trap I have, it still works.
Yeah.
You stomp on the pedal, it opens, you let the pedal go, and the door is shut. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
You were telling me they add more stuff if they like pass the goal. Yeah.
So right now, we're approaching the goal. This is one of those Haslabs that like instantly everybody knew was going to back. There was no question about it. It is.
Sorry for the noise. I'm just getting in, by the way.
No, you're good. Similar to the Ghost, right away, people see it. Some people say it's ridiculous, but the fans are going to buy it. So similar to the Ghost, the question becomes not if it will back, but will it hit all the tiers? Will it hit all the tiers? And what Hasbro does over time with the successful Haslabs is if they're approaching all the tiers, they'll say, all right, to get us over that hump, here's this other surprise. And according to Dan Yun at Marvel, there's usually a surprise regardless. He when they were talking about what's her name, Wasp, when it came to Giant Man, they were like, we already knew we were going to release Wasp, but it was a matter of when do we tell people about this. In the case of Giant Man, they were like struggling to back, so they were like, all right, let's just release it early to maybe get more of a push before the final day, because the final day is always a mad dash. FOMO kicks in. People really start to reconsider it. Flippers really go in like, all right, I can get this and sell it. So the last day of a Haslab is always wild. So
Fair enough.
what they'll do is they'll say, all right, this, let's say we've already passed tier 1, which is a patch, blueprints, some stickers, and cards. They may say that last week, hey guys, if you get us to all the tiers, by the way, boom, here's another thing. But they already know what the other thing is. It's just a matter of they got to figure out when they want to tell us to make whatever push it is they want to make. Now, to E3's point on the stream with Dave, I think that the Haslab, my only complaint, other than price, I wish it was like $200, but is what it is. My only real complaint is I wish these holsters were just part of it. I don't think that's too much to ask for. What do you think? I think he's gone. That's what he thinks. Oh, he muted himself. That's fine. Let me go to the chat. But I think if I was to nitpick one thing, it's that I wish the holsters were default. You guys are talking about Sal doing streaming, which he's going to start doing. You guys want the video? Where was I? T3 says the Kenner one. Yep. And Kenobi says, yeah, holsters. Yeah, I think Han Solo here should have the holsters by default. Even the belt's very Han Solo. I love it. But the question is to you guys. Are some of you going to be backing this? Have you backed it already? Especially like some of you more casual Ghostbusters fans. Because only Dave in the chat, outside of Steve, myself, and Anthony, like cosplay as Ghostbusters. I'm wondering if the casual fan will get it. Yeah, it's your phone. Just catching up here. You guys are talking about the streaming. There you go. Definitely want to see the unlockables. Got a month plus to consider, thankfully. Yeah. All right. So you're about to be on camera. You're about to show your face on camera. This guy.
How's that?
There you go.
Okay.
The struggle's real.
So I missed a whole bunch, but just continue. What are we up to?
Well, I said I think that the holster should have been a default. That's my only complaint. Outside of $200 would have been, this thing would have had 500,000 backers already. But the only like legit complaint I have is I think the holster should have been a default to justify $300.
Yeah, I would have thought the holsters, and then like tier 3, maybe then they break out the goggles, and then next year for the Haslab, if they did like the slime thrower, and then with that they could have gotten the, I'm a terrible fan, gigameter, like the round thing that Egon's using when he's when they're looking in the street in
Mm.
Ghostbusters 2. Geiger
Mhm.
meter, maybe. So I
Yeah.
would have thought that would have been a way to go. But I mean, I'm glad we're getting holsters. It is annoying that we have to unlock everything to get it.
Yeah.
I am glad I didn't buy holsters for my, well, for the trap, for the PKE meter. So
Yep.
at least there's that.
Did they have holsters in the movie, or were they connected to the key fobs?
I'd have to rewatch it. I don't know. If Dave's still in the chat, I'm sure he'd remember. But they must have had holsters.
I'm going to the old Google right now. Oh yeah, there's a holster there, but I think that was the radio holster.
Yeah, the radio definitely had a holster or a belt clip. Actually, did it have a belt clip instead?
Trying to find a real like high res
I mean, I can always.
photo.
I'm gonna try turning my TV on and not blast the sound. And since I own the movie,
I was thinking a good bonus. Yeah, I can't really tell. I was thinking a real good bonus would have been if they just released a what is it like the that random like circuit board piece that goes on your
the belt gizmo, I've seen it
belt
referred to
gizmo.
as, yeah.
Yeah. That I was like, oh, that would be a really sweet tier 3 because you don't really need it to do anything. You just got to make the
Yeah.
mold, paint it, maybe put an LED light on it if you really want to go that far, but people will be fine without that. Just make a belt gizmo with a holster. And there's your tier 3.
Yeah, exactly.
The goggles
still
are hit or miss.
I mean, just for the sake of having it,
Yeah.
I'd want it. But all right, so hang on. I have the movie queued up, and they are entering the hotel, and I have it on mute. And holy shit, Tribeca looks a lot different.
It does. That it does.
All right, hang on.
Now, something I commented on when Dave was doing his video was because Dave was commenting and mentioning the differences between like the part 1 trap and meter versus Afterlife and part 2. And this seems like a kit bash of all of those because I thought when I first saw it, oh, this would be more aligned with Afterlife because that's what they released as far as a pack goes. But the small wheels on it and all of that, I'm like, oh, all right, this is not Afterlife. It's just a Battle Damage Part 1. So
Right.
I'm wondering if this should have even been just like a clean Part 1. Like no weathering whatsoever. And then allow the final user to weather it.
That could have been something.
Yeah.
Real quick, I have it paused when they're walking in the hotel.
Yep.
I can see on their right side they have the walkies in a holster.
Yep.
And I'm looking, but I see the belt gizmo on the left. I don't see a meter. Actually, I don't see it on a key fob. I see the belt gizmo only on Ray and Egon. Venkman's gloves could be covering it. Yeah, I actually don't see. Huh. Maybe it's like the wand. They just slip it in before they pull it up on into view on the screen. They just put it in their hands and then bring it into view.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that might be it. There are some more zoomed in shots here on Google, but it's of the gizmo. I think they should make the gizmo. I think that should just be not a Haslab, but just
yeah,
print
that
it.
doesn't need to be a Haslab at this point. It's literally now Egon's walking down the hall, and he just magically has the meter in his hand.
Okay, here it is. I found one. I feel like this is a toy. It looks like this might be an action figure, or statue, but it's got the gizmo, you got the hose, and then the trap is in a holster.
Yeah, okay.
Here's another. Yeah. Or maybe they go down a notch and they just make us a walkie-talkie on a holster. But
I'd want it to work though. I don't want it to just be
really?
a prop. Yeah, why not? It's a walkie-talkie. It can't be that much to make.
But to actually like communicate to somebody else or just make noises?
Uh, I mean, I would think just to communicate to something on the same frequency, you know, not like I don't want to go like have 16 channels or something, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you can program them to talk to one another.
Yeah. I hope the one major thing is, one, if Hasbro's listening to this, I wish the hose here would disconnect from the foot pedal, or you come with a backup hose designed for you to hold the trap by the hose, because that's the move. Like that's the photo move.
Yeah.
I actually bought a hose just for that, and because I was like, oh, I'm going to be carrying the camera and everything, I didn't attach it to the trap, but you got to be able to hold it by the hose, and I wouldn't want the $300 version to have things stripped out because it's not designed to hold that weight.
Yeah. Did it
So,
say how heavy it was? The trap?
No.
It can't be that heavy.
that's what Dave was saying. He was like, they didn't give us really any hard dimensions on it.
Gotcha.
But you know, I think 18,000 people just to get the PKE holster is kind of BS. But that aside, and understanding that Hasbro needs to make money, that's what we're here for at the end of the day. I think it's a pretty solid release.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like little tweaks aside.
Yeah.
And I do like the extras you will get with it, like the cards and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, even looking back at Giant Man, I remember, I don't know if it was on stream or not. At some point, the words came out of my mouth, but it was, I only want to spend like a couple $100 on something if I can use it outside of being on my shelf. And I think you said it too, where it was like, you didn't mind spending the money on the Proton Pack because you're going to use that for things. You know, going outside is part of the experience with the purchase versus $300, $400, $500 for something that's just going to sit on the shelf and you can't do anything with it. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, exactly. I same as you. I don't know if I would bring that to a con, but the meter, why not? Just
For
because
sure.
maybe it does a little bit more, and then like honestly, I might, depending on how heavy it is and how much, I definitely have to readjust what I'm carrying on my hips for next year. But if that pedal, just for an accessory, the pedal, but I would never
Yeah.
put it out because I don't want some, you know, if a kid's like, oh, can I take a picture? And then they smash the pedal,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm sure it's
Yeah.
not sturdy. So,
Yeah. A kid would totally
you
do
know,
that. Like
yeah.
wind
So
up.
at most, that thing's on my hip the whole time, but probably just, you know, I would probably end up just bringing the meter and then that's it. Use the real thing for like photos if we needed to this way because the light's coming out must help in Photoshop. It must be better to add the effect to it if there's already some light coming out of that thing.
1,000%.
Yeah.
This guy's pack's legit. Holy shit.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I feel like that's not a Haslab at all. That's like an actual.
I feel like I'm definitely not schooled enough to talk about it, but like he's definitely modified it to hell and back if it is a Haslab because that metal on the ion arm and everything else.
the curve
But
of the wand.
the loom. I'm
Mhm.
down such a rabbit hole
Yeah,
in the Facebook chat group chat. Excuse me, in the Facebook
page.
modder group. Yeah, I'm just like getting so many ideas. I've like somebody who does make a plug and play loom for the Haslab pack so it sits better. I'm like, hey, I want to be on your wait list.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
down a very, very deep rabbit hole you've sent me.
it's true. But it's a fun
Yep.
one.
It is a fun one. But
If they had made this with zero weathering, I may have bought two, potentially one to weather.
Keep one clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the most exciting part about this one, and I agree. I thought about my only hesitation when it came to hitting buy was I was like, I don't think I'm going to stop using this one at a con. Like I just don't. It's too light to not use it. So that was a hesitation. But if it's some smaller con where I'm not walking around all day, if we're ever at a table, maybe I do break that one out.
Yeah.
But I
Something
am
smaller
most
like that.
exactly, yeah. But I am most excited for what the modders are gonna do. Like everybody who like Great Scott Prop Shop, like people like that who 3D print things for what we already have. What will they make for the trap? What will they make for the PKA meter?
Yeah. That's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I'm expecting uh, like a smoke machine effect for the
Yeah.
for the trap soon. I don't know what else you can do for the meter aside from maybe changing the screen out. And I feel like I mean again I don't know, but I feel like the meter would be like opening it up and soldering into like a new board in or something so it does something different in the detection sequence. I don't know, but
Yeah. I mean, the Keep Alive, that's the one I was thinking about. I was like, I hope Hasbro does a Keep Alive function on those two, but if not,
well, with those two, it doesn't matter. Like you don't need them on the entire time, and it's handheld, so you know, you can just flick it real quick.
well, I'd want the
It'll be a
light.
lot easier.
I'd want the light on the ghost trap on all the time. The red light.
Uh, I guess, but
It's part of the
I don't see
cosplay.
it being that. Yeah, I know. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying, like, I would figure. I don't know that it's not like that isn't as big a deal to me as it is with the Haslab pack.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
annoying as shit the entire
For
day
sure.
at the con.
Yeah.
So,
Doing. Interesting. Before we go, we'll take one quick look here. Sal, I mean, you could jump into Ghostbusters at any point. As a reminder, I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan. I'm a huge fan of the community. Love the community. I love the cosplay aspect of it because I was cosplaying long before this. So all that combined is what made me a fan. But interesting, you can DoorDash your Spirit Halloween purchase, which is crazy.
oh, that's crazy.
Um,
Huh.
Typing in Proton Pack. So the 80% one is still there. I feel like the life size is behind like some hidden link. Like it's never easy to find.
Are you logged in? Do you have an account?
I don't actually.
Maybe if you log in.
Usually I go via Google.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat, get on Sal to buy to start buying stuff. This way, next year he can join us as a buster.
Yeah. On DoorDash. Look at that. It's on the DoorDash site. I don't understand how that's there.
Wow.
Going out. Here we go. Sold out again. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It is crazy how fast this thing sells out.
Not surprising though.
Yeah. And now they're down to 7,000 people watching it.
Do you think they'd going back to Haslab? You think I'll be mad if so? Okay, so like they did the pack and I missed the pack, but I got the pack thankfully, and
Mhm.
now clearly I'm just going to be crazy and get this as it comes out. You think, say like say 2 years, give them next year and the year after to do a couple more things for the movie version of Ghostbusters. You think year three, if they keep if the franchise is still going strong, you think we get real Ghostbuster packs? Because I remember people were saying, oh, maybe it's going to be a clean 84 pack, and that'd be nice. But since I already have the weathered one, the Afterlife one,
Yeah.
I don't personally need a clean one like that. But as you know, in our group chat, seeing the Ghostbusters news build 3D print his,
Mhm.
uh, I definitely want a real Ghostbuster pack.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence with it. As a if I was Hasbro, I would really be on the fence with it, but if we waited, if we because the real Ghostbusters pack, it's the same shape. You just get rid of a couple pieces on the front, and of course, change the color.
Yeah,
Um,
they have the mold, change the mold a little bit, and it's not as much hoses. There's no hoses really. There's like one or two, but
right.
no ribbon cable, no nothing.
Yeah. So, man, if I'm Hasbro, I don't do it. I don't do it. I mean, I would maybe, you could do a paint variant on it. But this, let me, yeah, something like, I guess something, yeah, like this, where it's more of a paint variant, not like a screen accurate, not like that. But if you do a paint variant on it, maybe. I don't think you get I don't think you get the same numbers as you do the Afterlife or you do the Ghost Trap, because I don't think there's that many people who are like, oh, I'm dying to cosplay as a real Ghostbusters version. Because like
I
if
mean,
I
I would.
go for
Sorry.
it, no, you're good.
No, I was gonna say I would just. I mean, the only thing different would be I'd have that instead of the Haslab or the movie version of the Pack and Trap. That would be the only thing I'd change in the cosplay. I'm not going to get a new jumpsuit
Right,
or anything
right.
like that. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't even. I mean, again, I only ask because they have everything. So, and I don't know, but like they have the basic outline. How hard can it really be to just change it? Maybe you don't need to do a Haslab for it then. Just make it in general. Test the or do a limited run, right? Was there anything a limited run that they went back and made after they were like, oh shit, okay, we can make money on this.
Yeah, I think the Spengler one for sure is one of those. I'll be honest. I think this is the ones that should do this is Spirit. I think if Spirit makes a proton pack, real Ghostbusters version at the life size scale, I think they
Yeah,
would kill it. They would kill it because obviously their overhead is way less than Hasbro. The fact that this life size is almost the same size as yours costs half the price.
yeah,
So if anybody's to do it, I would. If I'm Hasbro, I'd probably hit them up because, as far as I remember, Hasbro owns the license to Ghostbusters. So, wait, no. They own G.I. Joe, they own Power Rangers, Transformers. Does Hasbro own Ghostbusters? Sony taps. No, Sony owns it still. All right. So, if I was Hasbro, I would hit up Spirit. Be like, hey, we're both competing in this for the same people. People love your pack. People love our pack. I don't feel like doing the R&D to make a full-on real Ghostbusters pack. I think you can do it. I'll make other things that will complement that. I'll make a real Ghostbusters trap. I'll make a real Ghostbusters wand, because people seem to strip your wands from your packs all the time. I'll make the other things that I can keep my margins high if you just do the pack unofficially. And they'll be like, bet. That would make it sell.
No, that would definitely work.
Yeah. Because I'm not,
So
as a casual, I'm not spending $450 on the real Spirit one. I mean, the real Ghostbusters one.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't spend that much on it, but I would want one. Is just
Oh,
really
1000%.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and the only way you get me to spend that much money is if you do it all in one shot. Like, I don't piece it out or over the years, whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Pack, meter, trap, all that.
Yeah. Dave
So.
says, anybody need R&D? Yeah. No, I agree. It for $450, you'd have to really go all out on this, but I don't think Hasbro has they don't have the wiggle room to do that.
Right. Yeah, I caught some of that where you're saying they actually didn't make money, which was surprising.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they Hasbro. A couple of you said yes to doing the video, so I'll do a video on it on the earnings call. But yeah, Hasbro, they would be effed if not for their digital products, is what it sounds like. They really screwed that up. They really screwed up last year when it came. Reset. They really screwed up last quarter when it came to inventory, selling, all this stuff. They, of course, talk, like every company, they'll talk about things out of their control, the overall market, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, it's your products. You're the ones making them. You're the ones determining the price. So I don't think they're going to gamble this hard to make a real Ghostbusters pack. Cutthroat says, Proton packs are cool. Back in the day when Ghostbusters, we made our own Proton packs out of cardboard. Yeah, for sure. Dave said, I'm sure Hasbro made money on Transformers Rise of the Beast. They did. I'm glad you said that. It was in my notes. I didn't want to go too far into it, but they said that Transformers performs very well for them, and Transformers sales were up 90% when Rise of the Beast came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And yet the physical toy side of things was still down. So it's crazy. I don't know the answer for them. Like, as I was listening to the call and thinking about, what do I buy? What do you guys tend to buy? The price points you guys like, the Proton packs. And the earnings call was before they announced the trap. I was thinking about all that stuff, and I was like, I don't have the answer. Like, if I ran a toy company at this point, I wouldn't know what to do to make money without, as they said, continuing to cut overhead, which unfortunately means cutting jobs. But, knowing that my Proton pack is competing with one half the price and people buy that time after time after time, and knowing that you can't get down to that price point, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sucks. Especially for those who work on the product, not making the decisions. Last comment here before we leave. Dave says, RGB pack is never going to make RGB because I feel it's a niche item. Because unless you are our age, you never saw real Ghostbusters. So it would be a massive gamble. Live action replicas work very well. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Yeah, we all would want it. We'd all would love to have the variant, but not to the extent of another 450. But like you said, actually, I didn't even think about that. If they found a way at 450 to give me the Spengler wand and the PKE meter, even the trap, maybe, but highly doubt they would do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that's the only thing that they could do with it, and they, I mean, there's at least I don't know how much the proton pack went for, but you got that, and that was just a pack, no wand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you do this all in one shot, okay, yeah, you screwed yourself because you can't piece it out over the years like with this, but it's something. And I mean, at the worst case, this stuff isn't shipping until next year. How much they can't have gone into production yet? They only have the prototype. So at the
right.
worst case scenario, all you did is you blew what, a couple grand on molds and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We'll see. All right. That was a fun episode. Let's check. God damn. Let's check one last time before we head out. 97.46. There you go. So we are almost there.
wow.
I was hoping it would back by the end of the stream. No dice. That's fine.
Yeah.
97.48. So people are doing it now. What was funny was when the Giant Man was in its final leg, some of the backings came through from overseas. Like those apparently come in batches. Because I guess overseas companies have to buy the inventory to bring it and then do distribution. It's not all Hasbro. So there's definitely a giant chunk of backs that will come at a certain point. I don't remember when they said it refreshes, but generally you'll see a giant dump every so often of backings, and it's for that reason.
Right.
But yeah, Dave says it's going to be fun to buy tomorrow. It'll be fun to buy tonight. I think tonight is a safe bet.
Yeah. I'll say tonight.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Everybody, let us know if you're going to back it. I know some of you said you would. But more importantly, let us know if this will make you consider cosplaying. Like if you buy this, will you enter the cosplay game? Let us know for sure. The one thing that sucks is you will have to still get a pack, which you can get from Spirit whenever they decide to restock. They restock pretty frequently, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But if you need a Spengler wand, at the moment, sold out. So I regret not buying it again. It's going to restock, and I'll regret it again. It'll restock, and I'll regret it again. I just need it for $80 again.
Yeah,
if it drops back
sweet.
down, yeah. If I get that sale price again, 30% off, I'd probably buy two.
I'll take one.
Yeah. Cool. Good stream, good episode. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Sorry that I was late, but I had to dress for the occasion. Oh, wrong show. Hey Archer Live. Every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish, depends on the occasion, Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. 2 different streams, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. As I mentioned, I will try to drop the abridged version of the New York Comic Con video this week, but you can watch the full version. I highly encourage you to do so. Full version is up on nerdaffiliated.com. Join the channel memberships. Shout out to General Kenobi, the latest nerd affiliate to join the memberships. Full videos there. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy. Get Anthony to start live streaming some more. You guys need to get in his DMs, tag him, all that stuff. Get Sal to do it. Get him to start streaming. And sadly, you're still going to be stuck with me streaming because, it's just what I do. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Happy Halloween, everybody. Peace. We're out of here.
Wow. Bye.